YouTube, what is up? I am Ace, and today I want to share with you my past 30 days with the Pixel 6 Pro. Now, I've been an avid iPhone user ever since the old 3GS. I think this was back in 2009, 2010, somewhere around in there. This is my journey the past 30 days with the Pixel 6 Pro. So, what do you say? Let's get into it. Now, as far as specs go, I'm not really going to go over specs, comparing specs between the 12 Pro Max and the Pixel 6 Pro. I believe I did a video. If I did, I'll put it here. I don't know, maybe over here, wherever they go. But this is just more of, my feelings and my experiences going over this. I was really excited to get this Pixel 6 Pro, just something completely new, a new little pocket PC, for me to tote around. And it's been fun. It's been a cool little phone. I'm probably gonna, I'm still thinking about holding on to it. I haven't swapped my SIM back into my iPhone yet, although there's been a time or two that I've thought about it. Performance wise, it works out great. There are times that the Pixel 6 Pro, I don't know if this is Android buggy or if it's the phone buggy. It is somewhat buggy. It's not. It's an annoyance, like, okay, the fingerprint display reader. Yeah, 8 times out of 10 it works. Those other 2 times, you have to, redo it or, redo your thumbprint, or not redo your thumbprint, but, retap the screen. Watching YouTube and, when I want to go, from landscape to portrait and back, that gets kind of buggy. I'll, flip to landscape and it'll go horizontal. Or is it lands? Anyways, though, big words, but you flip it back and forth and it's the opposite. When I have it vertically and I want to watch vertically, it's all horizontally, and then I flip it back, and yeah, sometimes you have to jiggle it a few times to make it catch up to itself. Audio with the Pixel 6 Pro, I had the Pixel Buds, which work really well. They work really well. The Pixel 6 and Pixel 6 Pro and the Pixel 6, but one, they're not very comfortable, and this isn't the earbuds review. That got a video for that here, but they weren't comfortable. So I was just like, well, I'm just gonna use my AirPods Pro. I don't know, it's fickle. It's like 1 minute it's loud enough, the next minute you pair it up, and the AirPods Pro aren't quite loud enough. I'm looking to get. I heard that those Soundcore Liberty 3 Pros, Pro 3s, 3 Pros, Liberty 3 Pros, are really good. As a matter of fact, I heard maybe even better than the AirPods Pro. So hopefully, Santa, i.e. my wife, will, bring me those get me those for Christmas. Now, some of the cool features on this Pixel 6 Pro, the camera. I'm not the biggest of camera people. I don't really pixel peep. I did, do some comparison shots, between the Pixel 6 Pro and the iPhone 12 Pro Max. And, there are differences, but they both take good pictures. There's certain areas like, night shots that with the Pixel 6 Pro that you can fidget with more. And you can take pictures of the moon with the Pixel 6 Pro. Now, I haven't really researched this. I don't really care. But I heard that there is, AI elements when taking pictures of the moon, and the phone knows what the moon looks like, and from that angle, and it AIs it or what. I don't care. It's still cool. Action pan's kind of cool. I haven't messed with that too much. But the star of the show when it comes to the Pixel 6 Pro is Magic Eraser. A Magic Eraser is very cool. It's not perfect, and it all depends upon how big of an object that you are trying to erase from the picture. But what I find comes in really, really handy, lens flare. Lens flare. We're not J.J. Abrams. We're not all about lens flares, okay? Magic Eraser does a really decent job of eliminating lens flare. To me, that is like the top thing about this Pixel 6 Pro that I love, is that Magic Eraser. Now, when it comes to voice dictation, bruh, Pixel 6 Pro, there's no beating it. This is not Siri. This is not anything like that. Siri's a little troublemaker, and she has attitude. Not that Google doesn't have attitude, but the dictation, it puts in the punctuation. When you're doing a text, you just tell it to send and it'll send. And you tell it what type of emoji you want, and it puts the emoji. Also too, what I do enjoy is always on display. They don't have that on the iPhones yet. And always on display, I like it. I like having, the phone on my bedside, and it's a little dim, it's a little dark, but I can see what time it is. Wish there was a little bit more customization or customization with the always on display. I've got people, there's some things on the customization side of things that I'm like, well, why can't I do this? Or why can't I do that? And then everybody's like, oh, look at the iPhone kid. He finally gets customizations and he wants the world. Yes, I want the world. I want it all. That's how I be. But when it comes to customizations, it's really cool. You can move the apps around and home screens and whatnot, except for, the top right corner, that whole top area, you can't put anything there. I mean, you can get a launcher. I got Nova launcher, which was cool. That's, man, talk about total customization. You can really customize your home screens and lock screens and stuff like that. I don't know. I'm more of a native app person, so I ran Nova launcher for a little bit, and that was cool and all, but I just ended up going back to the regular Pixel because another thing I really like about this Pixel is I can just swipe right and it brings up my Google News feed. That's another killer feature that I really like about that. And with the Nova launcher, you can't do that. Now, I do like on the Pixel how you can, when you do the volume, so it shows the slider on the screen, but then you can go into options, and then you can go into there and you can customize media, call volumes, alarms, and stuff like that. That's pretty cool. Although the button placement, everything, being on the left side of the phone, it's still taking some getting used to. Another really cool feature that this Pixel 6 Pro has, and let me preface this by saying that you turn on this feature, I don't know, privacy might be out the window, might not be. I don't know. Smartphones, privacy's out the window anyways. You can turn on the Pixel 6 to be actively listening for music. Like I said, not sure if this is an Android thing or if it's a Pixel thing, but it's a cool thing. It is listening, and it keeps a log of all the different music that you've heard throughout, and it'll show right there on your home screen. And, you can go through and you can add it to your playlist, put it on YouTube and what have you. Speaking of YouTube, I do like the widget for YouTube music. I can go through thumbs up, thumbs down, without actually getting into the app, which we all know that, iPhone, it's just a window of the app, and to actually do any functionality into the app, you have to tap the widget and it brings up the app. But at least Apple, with their widgets, I can put stuff up top, unlike the Pixel with your just weather and date. But I digress. But it's really cool. You can not only that, but with the bedtime, you can set up a bedtime schedule just like you can with the iPhones. I have it set to YouTube music, 80s ballads, and it alarm goes off and it brings up whatever music station. But as far as the bedtime mode with the iPhones, you can't set it to any music. Now, in an earlier video I did, I had a question about the app swisher. App swishy. I thought I had heard that you could close all the apps instead of just swiping them individually. I didn't see it. But thanks to a viewer, Frank, he said all you gotta do is just swipe all the way to the end, and then you can close them all out, which is kind of cool, if you want to, close out all your apps. The one thing though, which I don't know, I find kind of confusing. Okay, so if I'm in an app and I'm in the app switcher and it's acting funky, it's acting buggy, force close, right? Swipe up, force close. Nope, it could still be running. You have to actually go into the app section of your phone and the settings and force stop. And once you force stop it, then that, clears out the app. I'm not exactly sure what closing out apps in the app switcher does, but it's just weird because I just know with the iPhone, I swipe it up, it closes the app. That's the force close. I have my Pixel 6 Pro set up to where when it raised to wake, touch the screen to wake, whatever, everything to wake. I want it, the minute it moves, I want it to be awake and, boom, my thumbprint and out the door. There's a lot of times that doesn't work. I can raise it, it's a black screen. Tap the screen, black screen. It won't wake until I hit the sleep the wake button. It's things like that that are small annoyances. And, and I'm sure, somebody can be like, oh, factory reset. And I don't want a factory reset. I mean, there is something to be said about an iPhone. It just works. There's something to be said about that. As simplistic as it sounds, I know when I have my iPhone, it's going to work. The Pixel 6 Pro, it's going to work. There just might be slight annoyances. Look at how far we've come. I don't mean to go on a rant, but look how far we've come, okay, over the past 10 years. We have got these pocket PCs. I'm almost 50, and you would have told me 20 years ago, hey, you're going to have pocket PCs, and I've been like, you said pocket PC, On the plus side of the Pixel 6 Pro, it's a little bit lighter. Just by a couple of grams, the feel in the hand, it feels a lot better. Another feature I had to turn off on this Pixel 6 Pro was adaptive brightness. That thing is no bueno. Maybe if they made it more subtle to where the change from light to dark, from the light to the dark side, wasn't so abrupt. Oh, I forgot about gaming. Gaming, yeah, I've played some games. I play this pool game. I'm not the biggest of gamers when it comes to phones. Puzzle games and stuff like that, like that. But intensive gaming, like racing and Fortnite or, Call of Duty and stuff like that. The Call of Duty I'm into, I stick with the iPad on that or on my PlayStation. But yeah, the past 30 days with this Pixel 6 Pro, it's been cool. And I'll probably still, continue to use it for a while. Yeah, that's right. I'm glad. It's got my notes on here. Oh, speaking of the notes on here, I like the little notes app. The way it keeps everything all in little boxes and you can change the backgrounds and stuff. The notes are kind of cool. Kids, if you like this video, drop me a like and do me a favor and sub to the channel for more and hit that bell notification so you'll know when the latest and greatest comes out. And YouTube, as always, be safe, be kind, peace and love.